Good. Hi, everybody. Thanks everybody at Bandwidth for hosting us this weekend. This was super fun, getting out of our regular headspace. So I'm Errol Toker. I'm the founder of Truly Wireless. My partner couldn't be here, who actually did most of the work on this application. So what we do at Truly is we focus on bringing all of the core telephony features of enterprise systems to the cellular network. And usually we deal with access problems related to voice. So we're going after businesses that don't have great access. And we solve quality issues by using the 3G network. And so for the hackathon, we wanted to take a look. Oh, not yet. So for the hackathon, we want to take a look at SMS and start thinking a little bit about the access problems there. And so we started brainstorming yesterday. And we started off with a very simple use case and just with a simple argument, just like all products start off with. So my partner, John, is obsessed with SMS-based services like texting the Delta app, texting Continental, and we had a big difference of opinion. He said, it's fast, it's lightweight, it works anywhere, and I don't need to download an app. SMS services are great. So he's a big proponent, and I was kind of shocked because we work every day and we disagree a lot, but he's a UX guy, and I was like, SMS apps stink, right? Everything about SMS is awkward. If you want simplicity, if you want to know your flight time, Delta should just make a better app. And so we went back and forth for a good maybe 5 hours trying to figure out why we disagreed so hard. And the key thing was he was saying, I don't want to download an app. I want to simply interact with a service and get a rich experience, and that's it. So we dug in deeper. Next slide. And really, we found that there are really three problems with SMS where we ended up disagreeing: discovery, usability, and coverage. So when you're thinking about discovery, right, Delta, how do I know that they even have an SMS voice app, right? Like, how do I know that that exists? But moreover, how do I know what it does, right? So fundamentally, if I go to the Delta app on the App Store, I know what it does because it does everything that you would get online. With SMS, it's not like that. There's a huge usability problem, right? So this is what you usually get on the internet: text keyword to 555-888. The reason we have DNS online is because we don't think like this, right? We don't have people Google fighting for 1.1.1.1 to get you there as easily as possible so people remember it. Then there's this awkward bit where you have to text keyword. Again, it's super awkward. I don't know what it does. I have to know a keyword just to know what it is. And then there's the coverage issue, which relates to discovery. I don't even know who provides SMS services. So the prototype for the weekend was just basically, what would a universal marketplace for SMS apps looks like? Next slide, please. And so for the prototype, we said, what if there was one gateway interface for a single application to discover SMS services across all providers and interact with them? So here's an example. We have a single number that acts as a proxy for everything. So I just say list. It comes back with, okay, well, we support Chase, Facebook, and Delta. And I say, what does Delta do? It gives you flight status, contact info. And then from those commands, I very quickly can get to the next step, and then it gives me what I need. So with one place, I discover what I need. I get one interface giving me all the commands. Very, very quickly, I know what it is, and then I can take action. But this doesn't solve the UX problem that I really, really hated. So we sort of went back and sort of said, how does that scale once we have 100, 200, 300 apps, right? So we started looking at those three problems, and obviously we only had so much time, so we had just ended up sketching it up. So discoverability, so how do we make this actually feel like the App Store, right? And what we realized is we can make a single app that's visual, that can actually list out all these services, allow you to search it, et cetera, but all of the back-end interactions entirely over SMS. So we're taking what we said list and we're listing it out, and we just display it in a visual way for the end user, so that if you want to know what apps are available, it's just like the App Store. It's communicating with the backend entirely over SMS. Next slide, please. From a coverage perspective, we say, okay, now that we're a marketplace, how do we make it super easy for every company out there to extend their core applications to SMS? Well, we just steal this idea from Chrome, and we just say, give us a manifest of how this thing works, and we'll just be the gateway into your backend, right? So you don't even have to write SMS apps anymore. Just give us a really, really simple JSON file, and every single company in the United States can have an SMS app that is visual, simple, easy to use, et cetera. And then the last thing, next slide, please, is that we're basically able to take this horrendous experience that I hate and cannot stand and make it actually look and feel like an app, right? And so I'm basically saying I no longer have to type, I no longer have to solicit or anything. Because of that sort of interaction through this manifest, we can render visual experiences on top of SMS that feel like native apps. But because there's only so much you could do with SMS, you're not going to get into that complexity that you would with a native application, right? There's only so many things you can do. This is just a better way to interact with everything that's going on. And so the reason we actually spent time thinking about this is I think the thing that matters, and there's another SMS app, is this question of why does this even matter? Why do we want to extend it? Because we were thinking about what would we want to build weekend after weekend after this? Is this question of can SMS be a surrogate for internet in the developing world, right? So if you think about it, SMS, a lot of times in the Western world, we use it because we build terrible UIs in our apps and we just want a simple interface, right? SMS is a cheap way to bypass the need for great UX. But in the developing world, if you're interacting with all of your services over SMS, you end up back at that sort of really awkward, we're texting numbers, it's in my personal call log. There isn't a really good native experience like we have in the Western world with native apps, right? So if I don't have data and I have a cheap phone, how do I get this like rich native app experience? And it's just not possible. But by building this wrapper, this single app, we're able to extend that to the next billion people and have this native app store type experience. And that's the idea. Thank you so much.